right, good morning, all. Happy Wednesday. Uh, So we 3 minutes until open. Some of the stuff out of the way so I can see. All right, so price is currently out of balance to the upside from last session. The close or the stream high of last session was about 223.81. So we're in 224s, currently 224.97. See if I can lock that so that don't move. All right. So yeah, prices out of balance to the upside. We're starting to see some rejection of liquidity from that area from the 18th, which was about 10:30 on the 18th. There was a huge rejection of liquidity, and we're just starting to drop that right below the VWAP of session on session, VWAP anchor. So currently in there now. Looks like the extreme high of the 18th, 225.37. So we were testing it a little bit. POC of the 10th is 225.51, and then the value high of the 18th. I'm sorry, I meant to say the 18th. The POC of the 18th, no, it is the 10th. The 10th is 225.51, and then the value high of the 10th is 225.74. So I wrote that down wrong. The 10th, not the 18th. I'm starting to see some rejection of liquidity from there. There are some iceberg sellers in that area, some buy stops and some buy absorption as well. Liquidity also of the 21st is right at the where are we here? 224.36 area. So they're currently rejecting off the VWAP of session, so two on the 225. So that's why I have 225s and 224 puts with 224s currently in my active trader. 35 seconds into cash open. It's a little expensive. 224s are going for $124, which we know that's going to change. And 225s are going for $195. So again, that's going to change at open. May switch to 225s if we pop higher. All right, market is opening now. All right, so 224s are going for $40 per contract. Starting to see a little bit of that buying coming into play, and they're selling it down. All right, I'm entering here 224 puts, $42 per contract, right at that area of liquidity. Sell. And there's an iceberg that's dropping it. Good. That's a good one. Dropping it down. What are they doing? Okay. I'm about to say they were dropping it right off the VWAP. That was a good rejection off liquidity. Icebergs are still building. God, that was a good rejection. What happened? That was a perfect rejection. And they're being absorbed too. 42 is my entry. Hey, that was a great rejection. What happened? And the icebergs are still building. Is the timing off again? My time has been off like crazy lately. That was a great rejection, though. Man, that was a great rejection. I thought we had at least half on that one. All right, they're still building on their icebergs too. All right, they're still okay. Now they reject. Okay, that's a bigger iceberg that came into the market now. To 220, 224.45 was the is the current low, but we're okay. Looks like they're trying to drive it. They're heavy. Sellers are heavy. Back to break even. Man, I mean, they really rejecting it right off the liquidity rejection. There's heavy orders there too. Okay, and that iceberg grew to 266. So they're there. They're trying to push this thing down. Current low is what, 224.45. Buyers are stopping out. So if they buy, I mean, if they're stopping out, that means they have to sell it. That should continue to drop it down. They're struggling to drop it, but they're dropping it. See this continuation there. There's a lot of activity happening right at the 224.80 to 224.70 or 60, 68. And they're just not, they're there. They're not, and they continue to build on that order too, on that iceberg. Now it's down, it's up to 370. Still rejecting that liquidity. There's a lot of activity happening right here. I wonder if they let's see if they build on that iceberg some more. Right now it's up to 370. That was the first 5 minutes. That 5 minutes was crazy. All right. All right, that iceberg grew to now 396. Okay, now I got an indicator that buyers being absorbed again. So they are being absorbed. They should be selling. A big iceberg. So now that iceberg now has gone up to 522. Still rejecting that VWAP. Okay, 31 to 42. Good job. That iceberg is still growing. More buyers are getting absorbed, it's showing. 224.61. Good taking out of that current high, which is good. This thing needs to just drop that thing. For 42 again was my entry. What I'm gonna probably do if we get there, I may take something small because it's taking forever. And I may be leaving some on the table, but it's taking its sweet time. Unless we get down to 224.45 is would be great. But it is still struggling. The icebergs grew all the way to 522, and it is taking a sweet. It is just stalling at the moment. A good rejection off that liquidity, though. It's a wave of selling. It just hasn't dropped it. The open as what's the open? 224.82, which we are just below that, or just actually traded to it. They're trying. They just have not dropped it. And the iceberg grew all the way to 522 with buyers getting absorbed in this liquidity area. You got to be kidding me right now. All right, the iceberg grew to 547 from 522. There's a force of selling that looks to be on executing on the books. It's just taking its sweet time. Okay, I see now they're starting to come in with some force. 7 seconds of this 5 minutes. 224.61 would be great. We dropped that. All right, here's the third five. All right, looks like they're dropping now. Ooh, they're dropping. Okay, come on. Again, my entry was 42. So on the books, they're dropping it. The current low is 224.41, 45, I'm sorry. 224.45. The low of this current last 5 minutes, 224.61, which we dropped for a second. And they're back to break even. Oh, look at that. There we go. Finally. Okay. I'm taking off the table here because that okay, I'm taking 50. I'm done. I'm taking everything off at 50. So $8. Wow. You talking about taking forever. Jeez. Now is that 50 now, 49 now. I'm taking everything off the table. That took too long, and I gotta say that my execution was a little off too. You gotta excuse me for I got a lot going on, so my execution hasn't been perfect for the past couple weeks, but my analysis has been on point. I just gotta get back to the better execution. All right, I took 50, so $8 off. That was a nice drop to drop the low, the previous low, um, which was 224.45. We made a new low, 224.36. I saw a bad trader. You took some off the table. You got out because you couldn't hear me. Let's see how everyone else did. Texas, yeah, I see you typing. I'm just gonna take everything at 50. Texas looked like a bad trader. You got 31. That was even better. You got what, $11? Awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, you said waited to enter. I read that wrong. Good stuff, a bad trader. Sorry about that. Yeah, I read that wrong. 45 to 50. Got in at 40, 12, took 40. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you got better prices than me. I'm guessing you waited a beat too. Texas Jetty. Good stuff, y'all. I would have loved to get that 52, but they finally dropped it. I mean, the iceberg went from I think 200 or something to now 547. Buyers were getting absorbed in that liquidity rejection area. Way to be. Good stuff, y'all. I like how you all are taking the information and making it your own. It's fire. That was the right decision too, because I don't know. Looks like the bigger players took profit as well, because we are at deviation buy. That was a nice rejection off deviation sell, first deviation move. Set 0.5. Industry standard is 2. I want to see extremes a little bit past the industry standard. So I do 2.5. Right off the rejection of first deviation sell, which is also liquidity rejection. Even with this buying from ports of China, or I'm sorry, of we're striking a tariff deal, running right. Those aggressive buyers running right into passive sellers. It took a minute, man. It took good 10 minutes to happen. 44 to 50. Okay, $2 off for me, Mike, but great job. Yeah, I would have loved to get that 50. My entry was 42. So made all of them. So yesterday I lost the first trade, won the second trade, but I only had like 25% of my normal lot size. So I ended up making half my money back. So still a loss. I made half back. And let me look at my account real quick. So I am up on the week, which I can't be complaining. I'm up on the week, $800. So not not the best. I mean, not the biggest, but certainly not the worst. I'll take that 8. And look, they're still selling. Oh, I didn't see the another iceberg. It's only 64. So it's not as big as the 547, but it's just dropping from there. Look at it. Oh my God. If you make a new low, where can we go? I didn't even look to see where the buyers were. So the current low is 224.36, and we're at 224.37 at the moment. not gonna worry about it. I'll look at it later this evening. But if we drop two, what is that? Put stuff in the way. 24.36, which is the current low, and I see a zero at the bottom, maybe done selling. I mean, there's no contracts being traded at the 220.35 area. I mean, we're still 3 minutes of this candle, but zeros telling, and there's no contracts. I mean, not one prop. Still showing zero, even after they touched it. I just made a new low though, 224.33. We'll look at it this evening to see where we go. Still that second one did grow. So it's a hunch that I think it may be done selling. There's some players taking profit. Looks like it, especially with the highest volume in this 5 minutes at the bottom of the candle. But we bounced off the value high, um, volume profile. Check that volume profile on, see what it's saying. Let me do that real quick before I get out of here so I can see what you're talking about, Texas Jetty. I'd be interested in seeing that. And that's all. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yep, yep. Wow. I wonder if we're gonna drop it though. He's talking about the volume of 21st, I'm guessing. It's right on point. We're dropping though. Still with a minute of this candle. So I'm officially up on the week. We just made a new low. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see the value in volume profile. I understand why you like it. I just never, it's hard for me because I wasn't taught on it, but I see exactly why you would use it. Right on point. And plus we're at deviation now, getting close to deviation to buy. So I would be looking, if I was to hold something, be taking everything off the table now anyway. And plus price is only at 50. So depending on where you bought from, I would have loved to get that 52 for the day. So we're still making new lows. Yep, yeah, 1000%. Because that just tells you where the bigger players are making moves at. Like, because they're the only ones that can volume like that. We can't. So there's some definitely institutional activity happening. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna move from there, but there was some act. Look, where is the book showing? Oh, okay. There's more buyers getting stopped out too. They're stopping out, so they have to sell it. And that's why we're selling still. Buyers are panicking. Books are showing that the buyers are panicking. Getting out in orders. Another iceberg would have been three, so they're getting smaller. So I would look to probably just, if you were able to hold, I would probably take everything. And look, it went to 54, maybe 10 if I held on. So aggressive buyers bought up to passive sellers. I guess because most novice traders, they look, so even sometimes investors, players too, they see news like the China and US, I'm sorry, Japan and US tariff deal, and they think, we should buy passive sellers, liquidity, rejections. That's where the ice is in liquidity rejections. All right, let me get out of here. I did record today's trade, so I will try to post it later tonight. And you guys will see what I'm talking about, where they build from 200 to 547. The third one they built to 63 wasn't as big, and then this last one at 23. And we also see buyers getting absorbed, buyers stopping out, big numbers. And then also the rejection of deviation sell, the rejection of VWAP on the session chart. We're still dropping. All right, everyone. That is it for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. Talk to y'all soon.